Good to see everybody on here. Hopefully you guys had a good week, and we're just going to go over some stuff, and but hopefully I can get you guys some information that you can start using, and using the numbers and some of the methods to take forward. So that sound good? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So all right, so you guys ready? And welcome, I say again, welcome everybody on here. And you guys, you're doing what you need to do to grow your business forward, as far as getting your mind straight and getting the training and getting that business aspect going. You got to understand something. Like, we could have all the knowledge, we could have all the books. And Bob Proctor talked about that. One of his sister's friends, she would read a couple of books a month. She was that crazy. And he says, you know what though, the sad part about it, he goes, she had more knowledge than anybody I know, and she went to her grave broke. He said, God bless her soul, because she didn't take the knowledge that she learned and she didn't put it to action. So you guys, you could have all the knowledge in the world, how to get all the customers, how to get all the business partners, but if you don't put the boot to action, you're getting nothing. So I'm not trying to be hard, or you're not doing this, you're not doing that. It's just reality. Let's get going on this. Like I said, I'll be going a little break in there, because like I said, when people come in, I let them in. It takes my document off. So I got to start clicking stuff. So I haven't figured out how to do all that stuff yet. So anyway, all right, guys. So in all honesty, our goal for the past, year, 2 years now has been, if not longer, been RVP. Anybody else want to get to their next position, whether it's RC, RD, all right? And so ours is RVP. But do you guys, and this is gonna be some questions. So do you all know what it takes to become an RVP? I mean, really, have you guys looked at what it takes to be an RVP? Because, we thought it was a certain way, and then we actually looked it up. It was like, oh, dang, a little more information in there that's important. So, well, in our route for RVP, we've been pretty good at hitting the points. So we've been hitting that pretty hard over the past couple of years. And we got our point system up now to 375. So 375 is not bad. Kind of cool getting every time we hit a 300, a 275, 250, 300, 350, 375, and or 350, I think, is when the last pin that Mr. Provenzano sent us. And that's pretty cool. We keep the letter, and it's like, hey, this is like Mr. Provenzano signed this. And which is cool. But that's when you're doing it through the points and going out and getting customers, which is good, because you get residuals after that, is more of a position seeker versus a paycheck seeker. Not that either one's bad, but not everybody in here, no one joined ACN saying, I don't care what I get paid, I'll do it for free as long as I get the RVP pin. Sorry, it sounds good, but none of y'all ever said that, ever. No one said that in their life. We joined this business to put money and put time back in our lives. Okay, so let me ask you a question, guys. Which would you rather be, an RVP earning $500 a month in residuals, or an RD or an RC earning 5 figures a month? Huh? You see Miss Williams over there going. So
I'll take 5 figures for 100, Bob.
There you go, boss. There you go. And all of us would. So how do we get there? That's the question. How do we get here? A lot of us say, yeah, we just keep growing a team. We just keep doing. But like Mr. Thomas has said before, we have to know our numbers. If we don't know our numbers, we're just hamstring a wheel all day long. So here it is. You need 3,000 points. So remember, we talked about the points earlier. The points is important. So 3,000 points. And as of August 1st, I believe it is, you need $100,000 in total in your downline billing. And here's the cool part. You can't count more than 40,000 per leg. Changes things, huh? That one powerful leg that just gets 500,000 a month, only count 40,000 on. So you got to start opening things up there. So the way we figured it out is you always, when you're going for that, what you want, you got to go backwards, if that makes sense. You guys ever figure things out backwards? Okay, everyone knows what's going on here. So good. So Rose and I were talking about going backwards. So if we need, like say for us, we say we just needed 1,000 points to get to RVP. Okay. So we wanted to be RVP in what? We'll say December 31st. Okay. So tomorrow, what this Monday is May 1st. So we got all of May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. 8 months. Okay. For 1,000 points. So figure out, divide that 1,000 points by 8. It'll figure out how many points you need a month. So you start breaking it down. Okay. And then you can start figuring out every business partner you guys go out and get might bring in anywhere from 25 to 50 points on average, right? We're doing averages. So you can figure out how many business partners you need. You figure out what you got to go do, and then you go do it. It's pretty simple, but the fact is you got to go out and do it. So Rose and I, and it also takes with, you start looking at, and what a lot of people don't start looking at is services. So we have a business coach, and she kind of asked us an out of the freaking, just out of the back door question. She's like, out of all your services, what pays you the most? We're like, oh crap. I said this, Rose said something, but the wife being analytical, hold on. Let me find out. A few minutes later, HealthShare. HealthShare pays us the most. And we're like, crap, we're always going out getting, in our state in California, we live a bit under the rug as far as HealthShare goes. Okay. It's just one of the states that is on the market that you have to have different HealthShare. It works in California, but it's not recommended. So we always go, we got Vivint, we got ID Seal. My wife's had free ID Seal forever. We have enough for 2 ID Seals for free every month. And we got more than that. Free energy, free cell phone. We got all the free stuff. But what pays us the most? Here in California, natural gas is cool between what, November and February. After that, our gas bill here in California with this weather, it's 94 today. It's like, if you get $6 a month for a natural gas, you're lucky. You got a freaking restaurant somewhere. So, but that's just California. That's the summertime. That's how it is. So what pays you the most? So we come up with like energy and some of y'all in some energy states. That's good. You get more points. And but you start thinking about how many, like here in California, I could get all the energy accounts and it's totally doable. But I get 1 point here. I got to get 3,000 energy accounts to get 3,000 points here. There's nothing special about that. I'm not turning it down if it comes across the table, but to go out and do that in just that market, because I always talk about find something to be professional in, right? So now we're talking about the HealthShare. So it's hard with that. You get some good commercial accounts out. So I'm not trying to, you guys in California, if someone here in California's got some commercial accounts, go get it. Because some of the businesses here, especially restaurants, they get that every month. So their energy use doesn't go down in the summertime. It stays the same. Okay. So if you're going to do it, hit the commercial market. All right. So I just insight, because all y'all know somebody or know somebody who knows somebody living here in this state. So, and recently I was hitting, because we always hear about the merchant service accounts, right? Merchant service account. Ooh, get a merchant service account. But did you look and how you get paid? I mean, this guy does, $10,000 a month. You don't get paid off of what he does a month. You get paid off of his fees. That starts changing something, right? It isn't as good as it sounds. It's still good, but like I said, we want what's the fattest steak I can put on my plate? It's a steak, but it's not the fattest. And merchant service here in California, I don't know if you all having the same problem. Merchant services is tough. These guys get merchant service freaking account representatives, whatever they are, knocking on their freaking door daily. Every week they got someone coming in. Yeah, there was a guy here yesterday. There was a guy here. I got a guy coming in tomorrow. He set up an appointment with me. You know, so you always have that. So the merchant service can be a little tough. So just to let you guys know, and some of y'all probably having the same issues with merchant services, right? So you got these guys knocking weekly, and for these, honestly, for the business owners, it gets old. Those guys got someone coming in every day, just like kicking them off. They because it's all the same. So right away they think you're the same. That's why what they talk about, what's Dean Torelli talking about all the time? Setting up that relationship. How many of y'all really go out and take the time to start developing that relationship? Okay. So, but like I say, when our business coach brought that up and we looked into our comp plan and looked to see what our highest numbers are, we got to start doing what's going to pay us $1, right? Because we got 100,000 in billing volume we got to get to, right? So, got to get there faster. You want to get 500 family plans, or you want to get 3,000 gas accounts? It can be done both ways. What you want to do? No, time is money, right? So Rose and I figured out that it's all in the numbers. So here's what and understand this. Here's what's really interesting. A lot of the other teams, like the Williams out of Ohio, I think, if they didn't have moved to Texas yet, train on this. And it's about Jocelyn Driscoll, who's been on our call before, trains about this. Guys, when you start talking about these numbers right here, this is where you start showing vision. This is where you start making sense. So like you want, 20% off a $60 phone bill, or you want 20% off of a $270 health share bill. So it's your numbers. So let's take a look at how it looks hypothetically, okay? So this is some of the training we've been through, right? And hopefully you guys have seen this too. So let's look at a family of 3, 2 parents, ages about 35 and a child, all right? So with that, if they did the 500, so we took the middle. This is all hypothetical. We took the middle plan, which is a $5,000 deductible, right? So their premium would be $520 a month, right? This is just hypothetical, right? And the numbers are rough. All right, I didn't put the change in. Okay, for $500 a month at 40% is what the commission revenue is that you earn money on. So that's roughly $7, $205. Okay, so if you're at the 10% a month in residual revenue, right? What are you making a month in residual income off that one account? $20. 10% is $20. If you're at the 15% mark, that would be $31. And if you're at the 20% mark off this one account, it's $41. You see the difference of that? We're trying to get 20% off of $41 off a cell phone bill. And yet here, this is, $40, 41 and some change. So the revenues are there. But what if you looked at this from a team standpoint, not just you, okay? Team standpoint. And if so, your goal is our goal, RVP is $100,000, right? And we got to do this in 4 legs, okay? This is the path to RVP. And by the way, this is get you to RC faster, to get you RD faster, and put you well on your way to RVP, right? So $100,000 a month in billing volume in 4 separate legs. So at $200, right? Because that's roughly, just rough numbers again, we're getting $200 in commissionable revenue, right? We got to have $100,000. So we got to divide $200 by $100,000. That gives us roughly about 500 accounts in all 4 of those legs to get us to RVP. That's about 125 of those accounts per leg. Are you guys understanding this? Okay, so it's not 500 in one account. So we need 500 accounts in 4 separate legs. So all you need is 125 account per leg. So what if you taught your team how to get 10 of those? How many people, see now the question, how many people do you need per organization to get 10 accounts? Roughly 10. If they all get 10 each, that's 100 accounts right there, right? So that's the simplicity of it. That's not that's not even adding to what you're bringing in with your own stuff. So is it doable? Oh, it looks way more doable. You don't have to worry about 500 accounts per leg. You're like 500 accounts total to get us to $100,000 in billing volume with Health Share. That's 125 accounts per leg. Okay. Now, here's what's crazy. What if you had 125 accounts? Because we've been doing this for a while. We got hundreds. We got 375 services. What if they were all Health Share? What if? It's hypothetical, right? So totally more attainable. You start to look at it as a team, not what I got to do. What does the team got to do? And if you train this with your team and you build this in where everybody thinks they come in, they're like, you want some money? Let's go get some Health Share accounts. You duplicate. Okay. So, all the other services we're getting, like if you can't get Health Share, like me, we can't get, we can, but we don't do Health Share because of what I did for work and when I'm retired, I get, my stuff's free. I get that for life. I'm taken care of. Okay. So not everybody is, but I got all the other services. So you're going to have that happen. So if you want to talk about doing this, so, and how to get in these businesses, so how we can talk to people about these services, because you look, the majors hit the businesses and the business people hard. We got some people going to Starbucks every day, which is totally cool. But how many business people are you getting at Starbucks versus getting the businesses and going after? They're going after the big steak, the 40 ounce, the big old baked potato, some greens on the side. Right? I'm getting hungry now. So how do we get in these businesses? How do we start asking them for services? Okay. So I'm going to recommend this to you guys. Let me do this. Let me try and put this in the, sorry guys, I'm going a little slower. Let me bring this up right in the chat. Okay, let me put this book in here. So the book is called Influence. And it's by Robert. I'm going to type this in because I don't even know how to say this. Cialdini. How's that? That sound good?
Cialdini. How do you pronounce it?
So Cialdini, there it is. So that's going to help you because we're going after businesses. We're going after that $100,000 in billing volume. Like I said, y'all said you'd rather be an RD or an RC with a freaking 5-figure a month residual income. This is how we get started. Okay. So read the book and you're going to learn the 6 principles of sales psychology. And it sounded like I don't know who it was that said something on here, but someone said something. So it's apparently they know who the author is. So they've read it. So they're ahead of the game. So first principle in the book mentioned reciprocity. And in many ways, it's similar to adding value. Oh, I got someone coming in here. It's adding value. So we all know about adding value to people. I've been around all of you guys, almost every single one of you on here at one point in time or another, and you do know how to add value. So I give you your props. So it's similar to adding value. And when you go in with a gift in hand, right? Go in with a gift in hand, people feel more obligated to give you something back in return. I'm going to see a couple of stories here. I have a perfect story for this regarding that. It was during Christmas time, and my sister-in-law, right, was in the house, and one of her girlfriends calls, right? And she doesn't see her a lot, and she mentioned that, but she mentioned they talked. She mentions, hey, I got a gift for you for Christmas. What happens? She didn't have no gift. Guess what? She felt obligated to go out right away. I got like a Target here, a Walmart up the street. She ran out real quick and bought that person a gift because they were coming over to drop off a gift for her, and she didn't have nothing. She hadn't bought anything. But by the time that girl got there and bought that, oh yeah, I've had this in the car for you for a week, man. I'm so glad you came by today. I don't know what you told her, but we do that all the time, right? We do that all the time. So that's that reciprocity, right? So she made sure she had a gift in hand when the gift exchange came. So, and that's a perfect law. That's the perfect situation for it. But now when you go into business and you're adding value without expecting anything in return, have you ever done that? I know we give compliments without expecting something in return, but what are we doing for the businesses? And in most cases, you're naturally going to receive something back. It's just how it works, right? So here it is. So I went to the mall last week to visit a gentleman, and I'd shown him the business several years ago. Hold on a second. Still letting people in, guys. Be patient with me. So I went and talked to him. At the time, he saw the business. He was interested, and it was really weird. He started ghosting me when it came to sign up. You guys ever had that happen? It's weird. It's just like, wow. I was just like Sam, surprise. So, and people do, they go MIA. But throughout the years, I'd go to the mall. Here's the funny part. I'd go to the mall and see him, and he has a, like here in California, the Hispanic community chops up fruit, puts it in a cup, and they put tahini and chamoy on it, right? Good stuff. Highly recommend it. You ain't had that yet. And he got a little, like a little kiosk in the middle of the mall. So you walk by and freaking people buying fruit all day long. Chamoy and tahini. And I'd go see him and say hi. But, Rose loves that stuff. And I'd get her something to eat a little bit on the way home, right? Bring her something home. Like trying to do the reciprocity thing with her, but it never worked. But just kidding. But I noticed, right, when I was there waiting, I'd order, hey, bud, how you doing, Adrian? What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. The out front stuff. And then, boom, he was gone. I couldn't even talk about ACN. Did you ever think about joining ACN or anything? No, hold on, still here. So, it was like, I'm not even talking ACN, dude. We can still be friends. Like, come on. But the guilt, I guess, it was just killing him. But he would start ghosting me big time. But throughout the years of the mall, so one time he said, hey, I'll give you my new phone number. Frickin' never text me with a new phone number because he still had mine, right? Nothing. And then finally, last week, I was at the mall, and I actually went in for something else. I went to go take him some information that I had from him, right? So the information was going to add value to his business, and it was going to increase his revenue. A business owner that I know and his field were actually they were going to be able to do something together, which was going to do, it didn't, no money out of his pocket, but it was going to increase his revenue, right? So he was there and he was making my little chingadera there. And I was telling him about it. He goes, man, I got to spend more time with people like you. I said, brother, birds of a feather flock together. You want to be around business people, you got to hang around business people. I had to cut loose a bunch of my family. I had to cut loose a bunch of my friends, not because I don't love them, but because they weren't going to take me with their mindset where I wanted to go, where I needed to be to get where I wanted to be. Right. So he saw that. He's like, man, I got to hang out with more people. Man, you know what? You need to hook up. You got my number? I go, no, brother, you were going to send it to him. I never got it. Well, guess what I got? I got the number. Got the number all because I went in and without nothing. I bought fruit. I gave him information and expected nothing. But guess what we're going to talk about? We're going to talk about merchant services. And guess what? He's an independent contractor. He's got 6 members of his family, and they have 6 independent businesses throughout California, San Jose, Sac area, on down to the Fresno area. So did it open a door? Absolutely. But because I went in expecting nothing, adding value. So now I got fool's number. I'm going to talk about health share. I'm talking about merchant services. And I just saved my mechanic almost 50% a month on his credit card processing. That's crazy, guys. You can use that because all you got to say is, I got a friend that's just saved his mechanic almost 50% a month. Use it. That's why we got to tell each other these stories so we have them. So a little something else, another great idea that was mentioned in the book is the psychology of selling and persuasion. This one's by Leonard Moore. So one of the principles that he mentioned is to always have something to invite people to. So this was new to me, right? So I never thought about inviting, but I did when Rose was talking about this. I did do it already. I just didn't know someone wrote a book on it. Because anybody else, come on, guys, I'm going to be straight up with you. I told you all about the network marketing groups. B&I is one. They're a little expensive. You can find another one. But the networking events, right? The networking groups. You guys, anybody? I've been talking about the networking groups. If you guys knew how many points and how many services I've got in the last year over our networking group, you all be going out tomorrow, it's Monday, and looking for one and showing up straight up. It is that big. They've done that much. For the networking groups, BNI is Business Network International. That'll give you a start, but they're about $900 to get into. So I'd advise you to find another one that's good, right? Or start your own. My brother started one for veterans up in Idaho, and he's even in business with me. So it's totally doable. So, but here it is. So many of you heard of me. I've talked about that stuff and joining a networking group. But if you're part of any type of networking group, so this is where it comes in, that I can invite a business owner to. So if I know, let's say Coach Johnny there is does life insurance, right? So Johnny does life insurance. I know he does. I asked Johnny, say, hey Johnny, you part of a networking group? And he's like, oh no, what do you mean? I said, well, we got a group of people that we meet once a week, and we actually refer back in business back and forth to each other. Only one person per category. So you'd be our only life insurance person. So if I knew somebody needed life insurance, dude, because I know you, I'd be referring you. Everybody else in there too. I added value to you. So I can go in there. Here's what's nice about it, guys, is I can do that. And guess what? The way these groups are set up, you actually get to meet with each individual person and talk about what you do. So I can leave ACN completely out of it. And you could too, invite someone to come into your networking group, and guess what? He got to listen to me. I'm going to listen to him, but he got to listen to me. And by the way, this is just another, and I got a guy who's talking about joining our ACN business, and he does not health share, but he does health care, right? So I can't really talk about health share in the group, but he does health care in the group. Guess what he wants to do? He wants to join the business because we got a bunch of other stuff going. So he's talking about, he might not join the business, but I don't care. But he's talking about it now because he was invited to the group, joined, and now I get to share what it is I do to every single one that comes in and joins. We got about 25 people. Oh yeah, it starts adding up. So another one is a wife and I were part of a hiking group, right? It's called Hikers for Jesus. One of Rose's girlfriends started the group, a bunch of Christian women, and they started opening up to everybody. So we started going, and we're part of the group now. So what's really cool about that? Guess what? People we don't know. So Adrian, nice to have you along on a hike, man. What you do for a living? Oh, you know what, man? I'm owner operator of all the stores in Las Vegas. What? That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Good to have you here. Going on a hike, and hey, this is cool. This is nice. So we're getting what happens? Adrian going to be asking, well, what is it you do? Oh, well, you know all those businesses you have? Yeah. I show you how to save like big time money and drop your bottom line in every single one of those businesses. But anyway, that's not important. Let's go check out the waterfall. They just keep their curiosity. So that's another group. That's another part of something that a lot of people don't think about. I mean, I'm not saying there's hiking groups in everybody's city. We live right here next to the mountains, and so we got access to that. So, how about if you don't have a group going or nothing in it? But what if you guys did like a Zoom and you invited some people on? What if you did something like that and taught about identity theft, or have someone else on your team that was good about identity theft actually do it? How easy would it be to get people on identity theft protection information that your buddy, and you guys split up the customers? Hey, I got a buddy of mine who just I guess they got some new stuff with healthcare. I'm going to be on at 5 o'clock tomorrow night learning about this, man. I guess he's saving some people some money. And do a Zoom about that. Event, I always talk about the business aspect of it later. Okay? So, but if you add value to people like that, do you think that would be an advantage to you guys to get more customers, more business partners? Adding value to businesses. Hey, boss, I just saved you 44% on your monthly credit card processing. That freaking dude was happier than a dead pig in the mud. And I'm like, hey, Ed, I just want to let you know, you also have the ability to make 20% off this every single month you pay this thing. It's like, okay, I want you to know, I didn't want someone else coming here. I didn't want Coach freaking Johnny coming in and says, hey, how come Chris ain't freaking didn't show you how to make 20%? What? And then now I lose him as a customer and a business partner. Always let him know. Always let him know. So it's always important, guys, to be thinking out of the box. Like I say, you guys have my contact information. Y'all know how to get a hold of me. If you guys want some ideas, you want to bang some ideas off me, check on some stuff. Hey, Chris, what about this? What about that? I will give you whatever knowledge I have. That's my job. My job is to help you guys in any way I can. It's just up to you now to friggin' take the torch and run with it. You know, it's like when I ran the 4x 100 meters, you know, was blessed with some wheels, and I couldn't run the whole race by myself, but I had to hand the baton off to somebody, right? And there was a whole method into that. We had to practice. Rose and I are doing some stuff right now, and we have to practice with it, though. He even talks about that. And it's closing people. It's asking questions. It's asking open-ended questions. You all know what open-ended questions are? Not, hey, Adrian, how you feeling? Good. Closed-end question. Open-ended question. That person got to talk now. You can't just say good and that was it. So always be thinking, how can you, it doesn't matter what it is. Always have your head on a swivel. Oh, that's what you tell people in fire. Have your head on a swivel. You get burned over real quick. So, but guys, that's a simple, keep growing, find you a networking group. I'm going to tell you guys, you want to talk about professionals and networking? Freaking, my mother-in-law, Miss Luann Pineda, who's on here, Rose's mom. All right, I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a woman, forget it. She's already in all the networking groups with women. I'm like, I got this, I got that, I got this. She got friggin' customers falling out of her. Oh no, yeah. I'm just like, what? Send some my way. So be part of the networking groups, guys. Go find one. You can Google it in your town or some towns that are closer. Just go check. You're allowed to go for a couple of times. Y'all live in cities that got a city council? Don't they have those little groups that meet? You know what those groups are called, babe? The Chamber of Commerce. You guys got Chamber of Commerce out there? You know what the Chamber of Commerce does freaking every single month of the year? Has a mixer. I don't drink. I ain't got to drink. I hunt. I go hunt me down some business partners. I'll hunt me down some freaking real estate agents that want to link up and be a concierge service for them. Thinking outside the box. So what's today? It's okay. So June 1st, you all got to at least go to one mixer in your town. And Vegas, Adrian, they got mixers every other day in Vegas. And it's a place to go meet people. We all go to Starbucks, but guess who goes to mixers? Business owners. Every single person there at the mixer is a business owner looking to grow business. All right, guys, I just passed the baton off. Leg number 2. You got to take it and run. I thank you guys for being on here. I hope that helped you guys some. Big shout out to my honey for helping me get that. She can spell, I can't. But yep, so you guys got some information, guys. So this week, let's do some networking group. Let's go join a networking group, be a part of one. There's a lot of them out there, and watch what happens to your business. You go in that networking group, guys, I'm telling you right now, you go in that networking group with the intent to add value to everybody else there. You know what I used to say at my networking group? I'm here to help you grow your business before I grow mine. People didn't know me. They didn't trust me. Now I think everybody in my networking group of about 25 people is my customer, and at least one person in their family is my customer. We got a church the other day for natural gas. You know why? So one of my networking groups sent their parents in, got the parents net gas, hooked them up. They talked to their neighbor down the street, called us, Rose got talked to him, boom, hooked them up with gas. That guy is part of like the people at church. They got like a council at church, like the elderly that make decisions on money and stuff like that. Guess what the church is now? Our customer, natural gas. So the money is out there, guys. Know what the big stuff is and go after it.